Hello YouTube, this is Killican, and like most of you, when I think of Nazis, the immortal words of Marv from Sin City comes to mind. I love hitmen. No matter what you do to them, you don't feel bad. And let's be honest, Nazis are basically the one bad guys out there that everybody loves to hate, and for good reason. Heck, Nazi bashing flicks are among my favorites of all time. Inglourious Bastards, the Indiana Jones films, Captain America, and from Medal of Honor to Call of Duty to the underrated Gem Saboteur to the timeless interactive ick to Hitler's teeth we call Wolfenstein, video games are arguably the pinnacle of bad guy drop-kicking fantasy. And yet, I sometimes find myself pausing at a line from the first and, I think, best Captain America film, at the part where the then frail and weak Steve Rogers is asked by the scientist, "Do you want to kill Nazis?" in a tone of voice that seems contemptuous of the macho tough guy, let's go get the bad guy's attitude. After a moment of sincere thought, Steve answers, "I don't want to kill anyone, but I don't like bullies." This answer seems consistent with most of our other Nazi hunters, including BJ, who gets fired up for the fight, but is far from a sadist, and Indiana Jones, who swings his fists into Nazis' teeth more often than he fires bullets at them. And then there is the latest iteration of Wolfenstein, in which we see one of BJ's daughters whooping and cheering with almost psychotic glee after popping a Nazi's head like a cherry tomato. The other daughter begins to heave and retch and choke. Does she feel sick over having seen a human being get his head blown off for the first time? Nope. Just grossed out that some of his blood got into her mouth. Now, this is not an indictment against enjoying fighting the bad guys. I like it myself. But from a story-driven context, I always thought it was the gamer who was supposed to revel in the digitally animated carnage, and not the characters in the story who are going through something that anyone who ever actually was in combat will tell you is in fact a very unpleasant experience. Goofy macho shooters like Duke Nukem have always done this, but while the past few Wolfenstein games have always had their comic relief moments, the stories have always had a certain degree of seriousness and sincerity, and BJ almost always seems conscious of the horrors he faces to fight the world's most overtly evil organization. And again, we the gamers know it's all in good fun, and that we're just fantasizing about fighting the world's most evil regime from the safety and comfort of in-home interactive cartoons. But what about the characters we are supposed to be rooting for in the cutscenes? A reading of books like Killing the SS by O'Reilly and Dugard will show the sadistic glee of real-life Nazis as they brutally murdered and tortured their victims. But if our heroes are cheering with gladiatorial excitement as unarmed prisoners of war are summarily executed via baseball bat, or becoming sexually aroused by blowing the goose-stepper's brains out, are they really heroes? Or are they just so blinded by unconsolable rage against evil that they've ended up becoming the monsters they sought to destroy? Like the resistance fighters in the show The Man in the High Castle, who are so brutal and so ruthless that even the main characters of the show consider them no better than the Nazis. Isn't dehumanizing our enemies the exact same thing the Nazis did to rationalize their madness? Maybe I'm reading too deeply into this, but technically any form of art is supposed to challenge the viewer to reflect. Am I one of those guys who thinks video games desensitize us to violence? Hell no, but I sure hope I'm right. Otherwise, news media and partisan politics will soon have us literally at each other's throats. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.